Well, hey guys, we are in the middle of April and yep, it is snowing out there. Snowing pretty good actually. This is a live look right now in Bentonville. Wanted to give you a quick update here on the Facebook. Man, a scene more reminiscent of January, and it's actually beginning to stick just a little bit. Especially notice some of these roofs over there starting to turn a little white. Even in some areas, the grass out there, especially you can see over here on the side, just a little bit of a light dusting out there. No travel issues expected, but either way you cut it, it's going to be cold, and the snow's probably going to last for another hour or so before moving out. And again, it's possible that some of you guys see a dusting, especially on those elevated surfaces out there. This is a live look a little bit farther towards the south in Rogers, and man, heavy snowfall out there. Traffic moving along fine, a little bit slower. Reduced visibility as well, as we've got those heavier snowfall rates. Now this is going to continue, like I said, in Benton and Washington counties for probably about another hour or so. Temperatures, those are important today. And man, there's a big spread from north to south. We're talking about just above freezing right now in Bentonville. It's right around 34 degrees for us. And we're in Fayetteville, we're closer to the 40-degree mark. So depending where you're at, better snow chances right now in Benton County. But as that precip moves a little bit farther towards the south, we'll see that rain begin to mix with and possibly even change over completely to snow. In the River Valley, though, we're still a little bit warmer. You can see the front. It's kind of shaped like this, coming in a little bit cattywampus out there. Still in the middle 60s over in Johnson County, and actually seeing a little bit of sunshine there as well. Temperatures feeling like the middle 20s in northwest Arkansas. Still in the 50s and 60s in the River Valley, but we're all going to be below freezing by tonight, and that's all thanks to this big area of cold air pushing towards the south. You can see too that little strip there of the darker blue. That's where we're seeing the snowfall out there. And on satellite and radar, that matches up pretty well with that temperature map. You can see that band of snow from Springfield back towards the southwest, and it's beginning to change over in northwest Arkansas. Notice though, Clarksville down towards Logan County, you guys are still seeing the sunshine and temperatures that are a little bit warmer as well. But that snow, it's going to continue to push towards the south and east. Could see a few showers closer to the Interstate 40 corridor, but the majority of the frozen precipitation, and really precipitation in general, will be confined to northwest Arkansas, north of Interstate 40 for us. So right now, at the lunchtime, if you're heading out and about, maybe grab a bite to eat. We've got the snow falling across the Interstate 49 corridor from Bentonville down towards Rogers. Notice how they're kind of bouncing back and forth between the green, the pinks, and the whites. That's where we're going to see it's taking the time, or the atmosphere, a little bit of time to cool down. It has been pretty warm lately, and air temperatures at the surface are still above freezing. That's why we're not expecting much in the way of any travel problems. But again, pretty much all of Benton County covered in the snowfall. I'm going to step over here, move the radar around a little bit for you so we can kind of get a better idea of what's going on. So it's snow falling right now. Let's shift down into Washington County. Notice just north of Fayetteville, the snow and the rain beginning to make its way into Washington County. Fayetteville, you're going to see the snowflakes as well down through West Fork and Winslow. It's just a matter of time. Probably within the next hour or so, we'll begin to see that rain mixed with and maybe even change over to all snow like we've seen up in parts of Benton County. And let's zoom out just a little bit more. You can see that big swath of precipitation that's beginning to pivot in from the northwest to the southeast. And it's changing over as the atmosphere cools. Despite surface temperatures being above freezing, we've got the snowfall. One of the later snowfalls on record. We'll have to see just how much officially accumulates. But in the River Valley, a completely different story. We're talking about temperatures in Fort Smith this morning as you were heading out. Probably flip-flop weather out there. It's still pretty warm over in Clarksville with a little bit more in the way of sunshine, but don't be deceived by this evening, and especially as you're heading home from work and school, everyone is going to be on the cold side for us for tonight especially. So for that reason, we've got a freeze warning in effect for everyone, north, south, east, west. And it actually cuts pretty far into Arkansas. So we're all under that freeze warning for tonight. A hard freeze expected, especially in northwest Arkansas. And the other thing is too, notice just how far south I was saying, like a freeze watch all the way into Little Rock. Record-breaking cold is likely for tonight. If you've got any plants out there, you've got any sensitive vegetation, do everything you can to cover them up because temperatures are going to be very, very cold for tonight. That's going to show up nicely on FUTURECAST too. So I think by 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock, most of this should be exiting the region. Again, any frozen precipitation is not going to stick around very long for us. I think it's all long gone by this evening. On the backside of the system, we're going to begin to see clearing skies, and that's going to allow temperatures to fall very quickly. Now, I don't think it gets this cold. I don't think we're 21, 22. I think it's a little bit warmer, but either way, it's probably going to be around 25 to 27 in northwest Arkansas, maybe 29 to 32 in the River Valley. So it's going to be a very cold night, of hard freeze expected in northwest Arkansas, with the freeze expected closer to the Interstate 40 corridor. But either way, cover up those plants out there. The good news is tomorrow we warm up pretty nicely, a lot more in the way of sunshine. We'll be back near 60 in the Fort Smith area, probably lower and middle 50s in northwest Arkansas. But with that being said, we've got to get through the record-breaking cold for tonight. The record is 29 degrees, set back in 1966 at Drake Field in Fayetteville. I bet we beat that probably by at least a couple of degrees for tonight. By Wednesday morning, expecting middle and upper 20s in Fayetteville, forecast low of 27. That will break the old record set in 1966. And in Fort Smith as well, we're likely going to see record-breaking cold. That old record, 34, didn't even hit freezing. And that was the record before, set back in 1978. But tonight, 30, 31, probably going to break it, and probably break it by a decent bit too by Wednesday morning. Going to want the heavy jacket. 30 or 31 is what we're expecting in the Fort Smith area. I do have good news, though. There is light at the end of the tunnel. Let me step out of the way. One more check of your 7-day. We're going to be back up in the 80s by next week. Man, the snow is going to be a distant memory, and temperatures are going to moderate throughout the week. Might even see the return of, yes, severe weather because, right, it's going to snow today, and next week we could be talking about severe weather. It's the only thing that makes sense because it is Arkansas and in the River Valley as well. That 63, man, that high was set back a couple hours ago. We're falling the rest of today. Watching for the chance of more thunderstorms on Friday, but we'll be back up in the middle 80s, and it looks like the next chance for severe weather is probably sometime around next, Tuesday or Wednesday, just off the 7-day here. That's something we'll continue to watch carefully, but we got a long ways to go. Let's get through the snow first. Let's go take one more look at the iCams. Yeah, we're starting to see a dusting out there on the surfaces, on the grass in Bentonville. The roofs have already become covered a little bit. Again, not expecting much more than a dusting with this, but either way, the fact that it is snowing so hard out there, and it's what, April 20, it's almost 1 o'clock on April 20th. Not too often you see this. It reminds me of the snow we saw back a few years ago in May, where it actually did manage to stick and cause some travel problems. Traffic, though, again, it's moving along just fine, but the grass, you begin to see as we've gone throughout the noon newscast, starting to see a little bit of white out there. Same thing, I think, if we can advance here on our iCam. This is iDrive. Man, coming down even harder. I get so excited when we see snow, especially this late in the year. It's one of my favorite things out there, but definitely traffic moving along just fine, but it's still possible. We see a little bit of a dusting on some of those elevated surfaces as we go throughout today. And then I think most of this does clear by 4 o'clock today, though, so we should be good to go into tonight, other than the cold temperatures. That's going to wrap it up here for Facebook Live. Be sure and send us your photos. You can tweet those to me or Garrett. We both have Twitter. Mine's at 5NewsDax, at 5NewsGarrett. Or you can always submit them on the app. You can go on. You can actually show us where you took the picture with and send them our way. We'll be showing some of those throughout the evening at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock tonight. Stay safe, everyone, and be sure to enjoy this late season snow.